Good morning and good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope everyone is doing well. I just woke up, so I sound kind of nasally, and I have the day off today because I have some things I have to take care of back in the States. And it's going to take me a couple days to do that. So I took a couple personal days, and I am just going to be working on that. Also, a few more odds and ends here and there for sure. But I thought a pop up live stream. Hey, Ty, I'm glad you're here. Let me go ahead and do the usual for you. Thank you, sir. Um, hey, Frank. Good morning, Cody. What's up, man? Yeah, so I wanted to talk about like the things that you don't see in Thailand and some of the things that my own personal experiences as well. Hi, Terry. Hey, Butch. Um, One of the things that you don't see that goes on behind the scenes here is, uh, hi, Paul, um, just how stressful life can be here in Thailand. And when I say stressful, I don't mean if you're a retiree, your life's going to be stressed. Hey, Desert Rider, I don't mean that's not what I mean at all. I mean that if you have a job here, and then you're trying to build a job on top of a job, or you're trying to build a career on top of a job, life gets stressful in a hurry because just like anywhere else, um, you know, the jobs require you to do certain amounts of things. Now, depending on who you are and how well you deal with stressors, um, they may not be a problem for you, and you may be able to be one of those people that can do 16 hours a day. I'm not one of those people. Although I do a solid 12 most of the time, 16 is just a little bit too much for me. Nicholas says, great content. Thank you, Nicholas. Tommy says, hey, Tommy, Ross, we all have stress. Yeah, of course, we all have stress. Kurt says, hi, all. Stephen Smart, hey, JC, hope you're well. I am well. Misplaced text, and hi. Butch says, Thai massage and stress relief. That's a good idea. That's a very, very good idea. There are a possibility of I've been telling you guys that this channel was going to do some changes or go through some changes, and it's looking more and more like those changes are going to happen, and I'm so excited because it's going to bring a whole new context to the channel. Not that the content's going to be changing that much, just certain aspects of it will, and I think you guys will be very, very happy and pleased with it. I know I certainly was. Nicholas says, "Can I teach English being over 60, bro?" It depends on the school. It just depends on the school, man. And that's the truth. Cody says 16 hours a day turns you into a zombie. Yes, it does, Cody. Absolutely does. You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. I don't know what that means. Jordana says, "Hey, what's going on, Jeremy? This is Patrick hailing you from Belize. Hello from Belize. I would like to visit Belize, that's for sure. Hey, Paul. Good to see you. Bobsy, what's up, man? Haven't been here for a while. Clean shave, mate. You look like a young boy." Yeah, I know, right? It's shaved up. Got to I had to clean it up for a couple different reasons, but had nothing to do with my job. It just personal stuff I wanted to do. Clean it up, grow it back out. Clean it up, grow it back out. That kind of thing. Good to see you, Bobsy. You may find yourself in another part of the world. I might find myself in another part of the world. That's always possible. Nicholas says, talking heads. I don't know what that means. You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. Okay. Uh, are you a troll, or are you here to create content? Or are you here to add value to the channel? Because I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Ty says, for girlfriend? No girlfriend. What happened to the white sunglasses? The white sunglasses got broken, or I still have the sunglasses, but I don't have like the white talking glasses anymore that I used to wear, the reading glasses. Ross says, mall cop with a beautiful wife. Very confused on that, but it's Ross. It's okay. You may also find yourself with a beautiful wife. I may also find myself with a beautiful wife. Paul says it's really hard to find. It's really hard to work long hours in the hot weather. It is. Even no weather. Even if you're working in an air conditioner, if it's really hot outside, you know you're going to have to go outside at some point, right? So it does increase the. I don't want to say functionability, but for lack of a better term, functionability. Um, Ross says he is quoting a Talking Head song. Oh, okay. I have no idea. New York Frank says, in the day, 16 hours a day was normal. 6 days a week. I would redo that if I could go back. We have one life. Don't waste it. That's it, Frank. That's it. That's it. Um, I have so many irons in the fire right now. This is a perfect. Hey, Anthony. Um, I have so many irons in the fire right now. It's like, um, you know, at some point, some of them's got to go, and I don't know which ones to kick out. That's my personal struggle here in Thailand, is because when I came to Thailand, I had some reserve. Hey, Ron, good morning, sir. Um, I had some reserve cash. As you guys know, I had a ROI coming in from the States that was eliminated many months ago, and since then it's been a struggle to keep everything afloat, and to keep not necessarily to keep the same lifestyle, because the lifestyle is not really like, things don't really matter to me that much. It's more about achievements, right? It's been a struggle to keep everything afloat so that I could achieve that. Anthony says, been following, but no time to engage. I understand, man. That's all good. Thanks for following. Nicholas says, so how's the dough teaching English there? It's not good. Jason R said, well, depends on what kind of school you go to, honestly. Jason R says, I used to work 16 hours a day. It really caused me to be depressed. It can affect you mentally. Yeah, really can. You must focus, John says. You are right, John. Must focus. And focusing is hard when you wake up in the morning and you just, your body is literally shaking, because you know what's coming the rest of the day. You know you're about to go to work for 9 hours, and then you know you're about to come home and work another 4 hours, and sometime during that period you got to sleep and eat. And when you don't sleep good on top of that, it's it's not good. um, Anthony says, love that you are growing. You have so much to say, and it's not insignificant. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. I'm just trying to share my experience with you guys, because I want you to be aware that, it ain't all rainbows and sunshine. Unless you're retiring over here with a fat pension or a trust fund, uh, it's not going to be rainbows and sunshine all the time, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not. Um, let's see. Uh, that this guy is like, excuse me 1 second. Ty, can you get rid of private Robert, whatever? He's obviously a troll. But says, oh, yes, always staying positive. You got to stay positive. I agree. That's true. But you also have to, I mean, you also have to take care of your body. And it's a hard, it's a very hard thing to do when you try to juggle so many things at one time. So you really have to set priorities. And Mark says, I made $1,000 per month in Isan, poor section of Thailand, teaching English at a nice prep school. You could live in Isan off $1,000 per month, but you got to remember, if you got any kind of medical anything going on, you're going to need medical insurance coming over here, and then you're going to need meds. And if you're somebody that has to take medications for certain conditions, then that cuts into that budget. So you're no longer looking at just food, roof over my head, and whatever fun I may have, or transportation, that kind of thing. And then you're talking about medication. If you have to go see a doctor on the regular, then you have to go see a doctor on the regular. You have to take all that stuff into consideration when you come over here. And, sometimes a lot of people forget to do that. I think it's unhealthy to forget that. I think it's important to remember that we all at some point are going to need uh, these extra expenses that we may or may not be set up for. Now, I'm about to get to the good stuff. Butch says, "Oh, you're always staying positive. JC, how things going? Good, Steve. Thank you, Mark. Just read that. Anthony says sleep is overrated. Not for me. Not for me, brother. Cody says I started downing energy drinks, which after a while don't help at all. That's right. You do them, and eventually they run out. They run out of juice, so to speak. BM, hello from Costa Rica. Ooh, that would be a nice place to go. Let's see. Let's see. Anthony says food is overrated. Well, that depends. Nicholas says I don't care how many hours you work. If you love your job, it's not work. 74% of Americans hate their jobs. Exactly. Exactly. Jim, good to see you, my brother. How are you, man? Glad you're here. Glad you could stop by and catch us. Hang on, I got a message held for review here. It says, "Do great videos. Recently found your channel. Just tuned into the live stream. Is it safe to travel solo in Southeast Asia? For the most part, specifically Thailand. All my friends are too. Always said a bad word. That's why. With their money to go. Mr. Cohen, you're more than welcome to comment on the channel. You just can't use curse words. So I'll hide your comment, but I read the most part of it. Thailand is probably one of the safest Southeast Asian countries I've been to, and I think that I would feel safer here than anybody else. Aaron is asking a question that also is going to have to be hidden, but the answer to your question, Aaron, he's asking about various HEPs, and you need to get vaccinated. I'll put it to you that way. Make sure you get vaccinated. Going back up, where was I? Jim says, everybody get that thumbs up button. Make Jeremy feel warm and fuzzy. Yes, make Jeremy feel warm and fuzzy because he needs it for sure. Jason says, did you ever think of moving to a country where you can do more than just teach English like Taiwan? I did. Absolutely did. I actually interviewed in Taiwan since I've been in Thailand. But it didn't go very well because the person that I was interviewing with just did not seem to be very helpful and seemed to only be after the just getting me over there. Didn't want to answer any of my questions, that kind of thing. It was an agency deal, so usually they don't really take care of you, kind of thing. Jerry Bear, quit blocking me. I haven't blocked you, but that'll get you blocked. Bye-bye. Let me go back up here where I was. Nicholas, that number seems low. Ross is talking to Nicholas and says that number seems low. Yeah, I would say that number's probably a little bit low too, but I didn't want to cut in on him like that. Ray, what would be acceptable amount I have in reserve? That's all up to how much you're going to spend, man. To me personally, I'm always like, you need like 10 to 20 grand in the bank, like in USD, at a bare minimum. If you ask Ross, he's probably going to tell you need like, a whole bunch more than that. But for me, I'm used to living on next to nothing. So, having 10 or 20 grand just meaning I can move around a little bit, or get home if I need to, it would be enough. Anthony says, if you learn how to do many meditation exercise, you can thrive with only 4 to 5 hours of sleep per day. That's true unless you have a medical condition that will not allow you to sleep. That's that's true for most people, Anthony. You're right. I agree with you. But in my personal case, that is not the case. Hi, Billy. Glad to see you, man. Glad you made a live chat. I am happy you are here and happy you are such a good supporter of the channel. Steve says, hey, Jeremy, 1 week till the move. Nice haircut. Awesome, man. So you're coming over in 1 week. That's great. Anthony says, food, I'm doing IF OMAD for past 6, was that intermittent fasting or something? For the past 6 months. Amazing. Mr. Cohen says, thanks for answering. Much support to your channel. Thanks so much. I appreciate that very, very much. Paul says, what's your accent, Kentucky? No, I'm actually from North Carolina, Paul. That's a good question. I get asked that a lot. Nicholas says, have you traveled extensively Vietnam? What vacations? I have not traveled to Vietnam, and Vietnam is probably next on my list in terms of places to go. I want to find somewhere that carries the minimal amount of stress. That's what I want, is the minimal amount of stress. That's what I'm looking for. Because I want to be able to focus more on life, on my life, on what I'm doing in my life and the things and the goals that I want to accomplish in my life. That's what I'm looking for. But that's a good question, Nicholas. Ross says, thanks. Carl says, hi, Jeremy. Great stuff with your friend talking about hating life. Yeah, Ross did a great job on that video, you know, and I was really surprised that it didn't get more views than what it got, which is not, I mean, we're not up here to count views and stuff. I'm just saying that Ross did an excellent job on that video, really explaining hate and understanding why people hate the way they do. And, you know, I think he did a great job. Ron says, hit that thumbs up, subscribe button, and share, and ring that bell, everyone. There you go, Ron. Tell them, brother. Be accountable too. Says, hey, Jeremy, Scott from Cali, checking in to make sure you're still doing more life. I'm always doing more life, brother. Always, one way or the other, I'm always going to be doing more life. And that's the other thing. I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter what happens in my life, you know, how bad things get, or how good they get, or whatever. It's not going to matter. You know, I'm going to keep going one way or the other. I always have. So we're always going to be doing more life. Sass says, obstructive sleep apnea. Haven't slept in 20 years. Oof. Wow. Well, my problem is I can't sleep. First of all, I can't go to sleep. And secondly, when I get to sleep, I can't stay asleep. I almost never get like REM sleep. I almost never get it. So even if I sleep, you know, 6 hours or so, or 7 hours, I don't rest. I'm like, my body doesn't regenerate like normal people. Craig, thanks so much for the super chat, brother. Appreciate that. Love you for it, man. I really do appreciate the super chat so much. That just funds what we do, guys. Funds what we do. Funds the stuff that's coming up, and hopefully we got some travel coming up. Well, not hopefully, we do have some travel coming up, and just so all you guys know, all super chats, PayPals, anything like that, all of that goes toward either equipment or content creation for this channel, whether that be travel expenses or anything else. So now I never use super chat money, or any money straight out of your pocket is never ever used for anything other than growing the channel. Just FYI. Ross says, Sass, you doing the 2-hour power naps? Yeah. Nicholas says, what is stressing you out over there? It's the combination of having to do so much is pretty much what it amounts to. It's stress that I put on myself. If I only wanted to work just a job, you know, and not do anything else, and not do YouTube, and not try to create a life for myself, and not try to be an entrepreneur and that kind of thing, if I only wanted to do that, then I probably would have very little stress, but I would also have very little money to do anything with. So, you know, it's not necessarily about the money, but without money, you can't do anything. I mean, you just can't. And the teaching salaries are generally, okay, I'm not speaking about all teaching salaries, but generally teaching salaries are so low here in Thailand. You know, you have to be one of those, you have to be a minimalist almost to be able to get by real well. Ray says, was the Philippines stressful? It got stressful. It wasn't when I got there. I was considered moving to the Philippines, but I've heard there's a lot of crime there. I would never recommend anybody move to the Philippines. Ross says, Jeremy is doing so much life, he needs a 30-hour day to get it all done. Yeah, I really do. Sass says, I wake up 40 times an hour. Craig giving another 5. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. It says, enjoy your day. I really appreciate that, Craig. Thank you, man. Craig's got 2 5s on there, or is that 3 5s? $5 super chat says, I hardly fell asleep. I hardly sleep, bro. I feel you enjoy the sweet life. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Ryan says, have you ever tried Emma and Jeremy? Not for everyone, but it's been a lifesaver for me. Yes, I have. I have. And my sleep, my insomnia is so bad that Ambien by itself has no effect. Has no effect. Just so you know, that's what kind of sleep insomnia I'm talking about, that I have to deal with, and yet I continue to push forward. And that's not to tap myself on the back. That's just to say, hey, this is what happened. Craig just hit a $10 super chat. Craig, you go, man. He says your focus and effort will be your reward, and I agree with that. If I didn't think, guys, if I didn't think that we were going to get something out of this, like get something good out of this, I wouldn't keep doing it for sure. And I really appreciate Craig with all the super chats this morning. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for all that. I really appreciate it. Steve says falling asleep is my superpower. Staying asleep is my nemesis. Understand that. Unfortunately, neither one of those work for me. Nicholas says you need to check out listening to different frequencies that will guide your mind and REM sleep. Nicholas, I'm gonna tell you, bro, you got some good ideas. It's obvious, excuse me, you know what you're talking about, but I have done that. They actually put me in a sleep lab way in America a long time ago. And I stayed awake for 56 hours straight before I even started to get sleepy. And I was starting to hallucinate and other things just because I wasn't sleeping. So it took me 72.6 hours, I think was what it was, before I finally dozed off on my own. And I wouldn't say I was lucid at that time. And that's what I mean by here in Thailand. If you stress yourself out when you get here, if you don't come here with a plan like me, I didn't come here with a plan. All this is my fault, by the way. If you come here with a plan, or don't come here with a plan, then you have put unnecessary stress in your life. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys avoid. That's what I'm getting at here. Jim says, well, Jeremy, if we could have more epic nights like we had last Friday, we will get you out of that 9 to 5. That's what we're hoping for, bro. That's definitely where we're going, Jim. We'll have not a super chat. We'll have a live stream Saturday morning here, Friday night there. And maybe you can play some more games. I don't know. That's entirely up to you, man. You know how I am about asking, so I don't do that. It's entirely up to you. Cody says, I love watching Seinfeld, so I put it on at 10 every night, and usually by 11 out and back up at 6. Yeah, if I could sleep from 11 to 6, like straight through, and wake up like a normal person, it would be different. But when I wake up, I'm shaky and I'm nervous and I'm stressed when I wake up. Like I'm stressed when I go to bed, and then so sleeping is almost impossible because you know how hard it is to sleep when you're stressed. And then when you wake up, you're stressed already and you just woke up. So somehow you have to calm yourself down to get through the day. I mean, it's just an ongoing. It never stops. Never stops. Jason, yeah, Ron says, wow, yeah, it's pretty serious. Jason says, you don't have to apologize for taking income from this stuff. I doubt anybody who would donate to you cares if you use it live. You're probably right, Jason, but I like to explain to everybody that, you know, the AdSense money, like the stuff that doesn't come out of your pocket, that kind of money is the stuff that I use to help me live. But the stuff that comes in on Super Chat and PayPal and other things like that, those things, I always make sure I put separately into either equipment or travel or something like that. Carl says, Jeremy, you ever think it might be looking at bright electronic screens making you unable to sleep with your work with editing YouTube videos and such? It's possible, Carl. It's possible. But you know, I was diagnosed with a medical condition that does not allow me to sleep, that causes this severe, just incredibly weird insomnia. So I don't, you know, it's like let me use my father for example. My dad's just a straight up cool dude. he might take melatonin. He can take like 10 grams of melatonin, like, which is a natural herb, right? And it's nothing. It's just melatonin, and sleep like a baby. I can take 10 grams of melatonin and just operate as normal, like I never took it. Have you always had horrible insomnia? Yes. I've had it my whole life, Nicholas. Craig says, my pleasure. Yeah, thank you so much, Craig. You really made a big impact today, and I really appreciate it. I wasn't planning on staying on that long, but I definitely appreciate it. Yep. Well, there you go, Ray. The Tylenol PM and the melatonin. I think I just answered that question. Really enjoy your vlog, says Half Dom. Is that right? Thank you, man. I appreciate it very, very much. Working hard to try to get you guys some good content. Cabo, howdy from Florida. Sleep is important, big time. Yes, it is. I agree, and I hope you're doing well from Florida. Ross says plans are a very good thing. Also have a B, C, and D. That's true. That's very true. And see, that's where I messed up. This is where I hold myself accountable, where you'll find a lot of people that will just complain, right? They'll just complain and say, oh, it's somebody else's fault. Oh, it's the doctor's fault. Oh, it's Thailand's fault. Oh, it's the job's fault. Oh, it's this. I'm not saying that. I didn't plan, right? I didn't plan correctly, and I didn't give myself enough leeway to I just didn't plan correctly, guys. I just didn't. No, I don't take Ambien like candy, dude. If that's what you're asking, Nicholas, that's not what I said. I'm just saying it by itself won't work. It has to be in combination with other stuff. Not anything illegal. Not anything illegal. Cody says Pink Floyd will put you to sleep for 10 minutes until the lions start roaring. I bet so, Cody. Jeremy needs a plan full of Z's. Yes, I do. So that's funny. I like that. Cab driver says, hi, Jeremy from London. I just got woken up 2 a.m. by a car having its catalytic converter stolen. Now I can't sleep. Oh, Lord. That's terrible. Ross says, JC, have you ever tried yoga before bed? Man, I've tried yoga. I've tried stretching, meditation. What else have I done? Cognitive therapy, different types of cognitive therapies. All kinds of stuff. I mean, all kinds of stuff. And it's just, it makes it rough, man. It's rough when you try to do the things that I do and you have the ambitions that I have and still try to have a normal life. It's tough. Ray says, is the 20 grand you suggested for a year living in Thailand? No, 20 grand is money that you put away and you don't touch unless you absolutely have to have it. Like, you have to have it. Something, terrible happens to you and you have to have that 20 grand. That's the only reason I would ever suggest using that 20 grand. Paul says, why should we not move to the Philippines? Is the answer in your vlogs? Yes. The answer is in my vlogs. I have about roughly 200 videos from the Philippines, and you can watch all those, and they're all in there, brother. I would say that the Philippines is a place I would go visit and take pictures and be happy, and go to places like Boracay and Coron and El Nido and things like that. It'd be great for videography and photography. Would I want to live there again? Absolutely not. No way. And there are many reasons for that, actually. Chris says, force yourself to think of a wonderful memory in your life. When your mind wanders, go back and memory it. That, Chris, is the only thing that I have ever found that actually works. But it only works if I wait. Like, if I wake up in the middle of the night and I wake up wide awake, it doesn't matter. I'm done. I'm up. I might as well just stay up. And that takes a toll on my body. Like, it even affects my digestive system. Like, if I don't sleep enough. So, but if I wake up and I'm in stage 3 sleep or something, not quite in the REM sleep, and I'm groggy or whatever, and I wake up and I force myself to go into one of those, good thought things or something like that, I can actually get myself back to sleep sometime, most of the time. So that's actually a good point, Chris. Good point, man. Lenny says, "Oh wow, timed out. I've been sub to you for 2 years and traveling in December. I asked you a question and I get timed out. I didn't time you out, Lenny. I'm not sure what's going on. I asked you something that is genuinely concerning. Got me timed out. Perhaps it's your wording that got you timed out. Ty wouldn't time you out if you hadn't said something that would get me in trouble on YouTube. I can assure you." I'm not ignoring you, Lenny. I haven't timed you out, so I know it's been Ty, and I'm sure he'll tell you what just to rephrase the question or something. I would love to answer it for you. Big Steve says I have big problems sleeping too. I got tablets that work very well, but try to use only once a month. Took one early Sunday morning here in Pattaya. Didn't get out of bed till Monday morning. Oof, oof. Steve, message me and tell me what that is if you don't mind. If you don't mind sharing that with me, because I'm always looking for different solutions because what I have is not working. Ross says, "You know how my crazy schedule is." Yes, I do. It's what I do each night before bed for 10 minutes. It helps. Yeah, I agree. But you're not. People don't understand the difference. Is like you don't have something going on that causes you not to be able to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like you have normal stressors of life. You don't have like a chemical imbalance or something. Stuck in Florida says if I sleep for more than a couple of hours at a time, it's a sure sign that I'm sick. Oof, that's rough. Lenny says my question stands. I'm asking your advice, Jeremy, on how to deal with a. Nah, see, you can't say that word. You can't say that word. I got to remove your comment now. But how do you deal with that for a few weeks in Thailand? You mean like, are you you talking about like you're having to deal with with one of those type people? Because the easiest way to deal with them is to get rid of them. And by that I mean just stay away from them. Go away. Just go away. Get away from them. If you absolutely must be around them, tune them out. Get some headphones. Do whatever you need to do to stay away from them. But by all means, separate yourself, bro. That's why Ty was timing you out because of that word. You can't use that word. YouTube won't allow it. I personally don't care. I don't, most of you know, I don't care what you say on this channel, but YouTube does. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Timmy says Ovaltine with milk helps me sleep warm. Of course, I wish it was that simple, man. Steve says I listen a sleep podcast, just reinforce your brain for a little while. That's a good idea. Nicholas said I've had chronic back pain and I've learned to embrace the pain, embrace your insomnia. I know it sounds weird, and that doesn't sound weird because I've learned how to embrace stress. I've learned how to embrace failure. I've learned how to embrace success. I've learned how to embrace a lot of things. So it doesn't sound weird at all. Embrace the fact that I'm not going to get much sleep and tomorrow's going to suck. I've come to that realization, but the problem is sometimes the suck gets so bad that I have to take time and just regroup. Like my body just can't take it anymore. Sometimes. Van McQueen says, JC, lots of different beers in which style. Yeah, but I can't drink, man. So we don't. I don't drink. I'm sorry, I didn't read the rest of it. Which ones are good and which ones should we avoid? Oh well, I can't answer that because I have no idea. People in here will though for sure. In fact, they're talking to you about it. Intermittent fasting spawns autophagy. What is autophagy? Okay. I didn't know that. Intermittent fasting spawns. Maybe I should try that. Big Steve says, too easy, Jeremy. I'll send it to you on Messenger. Yes, please do. Please send it to me on Messenger, Steve. Please. Thank you very much. Anthony says, concept of autophagy won Nobel Prize medicine in 2016. I've heard of it. I think I know what you're talking about. Desert Rider says, Tim Ferriss has some great and extensive advice on getting better quality sleep in his book, The 4-Hour Body. Really solid information. Awesome. I thought he also did a book called The 4-Hour Work Week, didn't he? I believe. I don't know. I need to read more. I really do. Hang on a second here, guys. Oh, okay. Okay, Ty. I'll check that out. No problem. let's see. Ray Ray says, I'm on it too, Anthony. Okay. In Thailand on welfare. What? What's the time in Thailand? Right now it's 8:37 in the morning. How can you be on welfare? You can't be on welfare in Thailand as a foreigner. What do you? I don't know. I don't understand. Yeah, you can be from America, but I'm not. If that's what you're asking. Um, what's the time in Thailand? If he says anything else stupid, Thai, just delete him, please. Ray Ray said, let's see, Steve says exercise helps, but like you need more on your plate. Yeah, exactly. Lenny says, oh, I see, Jeremy, but I want to go look at temples, eat some tasty food, look at the places in your videos, but the closer it gets to December, he's just talking about women. It's weird. Oh, okay. Well, of course he's going to be talking about women because you're going to be coming to a place that's typically known for having lots of women. So, if you think that he is going to do the woman thing, then you tell him, hey, go do your woman thing, man, and I'm going to go do my thing. And as I go do my thing, you go ahead and enjoy doing your woman thing. And don't judge him. Let him be who he is. Let him make his own mistakes. Let him find out, the hard way about stuff, and he'll learn one way or the other. That's really the best advice I can give you, Lenny. Keith says, I listen to History of Rome podcast. You cannot stay awake through that, I promise. And that's a good one. I like that. Lenny says, it's getting to the point I might lose him at the airport. Hey, if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do, man. I mean, your vacation here is it's one of those self-preservation things, right? So self-preservation comes first, and that's kind of what I'm talking to you guys about today, in case you didn't notice. Is self-preservation is like, you got to understand, if you don't take care of you first, and that's kind of what I'm talking about here, is like the things that go on behind the scenes, like with all the drama that I used to care about that I no longer give 2 cents about at all. In fact, I was contemplating whether or not I should even let Ross put that video up on the channel, but he really wanted to put it up, and it made a lot of sense, and he didn't really go into detail about anyone in particular, so I let it go up. But when I used to worry about stuff like that, it used to really, really bother me, and it doesn't do that anymore. So that's what I mean when I say I want you guys to understand that stressors in life here in Thailand are just like stressors in life in the Western world if you don't come with a plan. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Desert Rider says, yes, same guy wrote 4-Hour Work a Week, highly recommended. Ross says, Larry, get separate rooms. Get separate rooms for sure, and make sure you stay as far away as possible for as long as possible would be my general suggestion, if that's not what you're into. Van McQueen, excuse me, JC, have you found a good professional massage parlor in Pattaya? Please give the name. Yes, Milan Massage is a very good professional place there. Ray Ray says, generate new cells and suppresses cancers. Well, that's cool. Ross says, wake up early and leave hotel. Night people never get up early. That's very true. He's talking to you, Lenny. So that's a good idea. I like this multiple topic thing that we're on here. This is pretty cool. Sorry, guys, I got to cut down the air conditioner. It's getting really, really cold in here. But I wanted you guys to be aware. Big Steve says, I had a great meal last night in Pattaya, a place called Hops Beach Road. Soy 13-1, friends recommended it. I think I do know where that's at. If it's on if it's in Pattaya and it's on 13-1, I know 13-1 that street pretty well, because I have a friend that used to go to not a bar, but like a eating place bar. So I know I'm pretty sure I know where that's at. But I wanted to, if you guys noticed, we had some trolling going on today, and Ty did a very good job of taking care of that for me, as he always does. Craig did an excellent job super chat, and I appreciate that so much, bro, so much. Big Beer House, I hear you. FN says, how long do you plan to live in Thailand? Right now, it's indefinite. FN. Really depends on things that are going to happen in the next couple weeks. So I appreciate you guys that are sending me messages on Facebook on how to help sleep. Very, very much appreciated. Anthony says, please seriously look into it. You can thank me later. 10-4. I will do it. I'll look into it for sure. I can't forget the word, and I'll definitely look into it. So, everyone have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you guys Friday night East Coast time and Saturday morning Bangkok time. Love you. Appreciate you being a part of the DoMoreLife family, and I will see you on the next one.